new bike day, drop bar mountain bike. But is it lighter than my gravel bike? We're gonna find out. This is my bike for the Atlas mountain race in Morocco, a ultra cycling race of more than 1,300 kilometers. But how it performs? Let's find out. We're gonna build it and then test it out on the trail. Time to build the bike, but first, let's check the weight of the frame. 775 grams, that's lightweight. One of the reasons why I chose the frame from Bike Composites. It is one of the lightest frames out there, and you can buy the frame by itself. You don't need to buy the whole bike. And as I wanted to do a custom build, a drop bar mountain bike, this was ideal. Also, I want to check if it's maybe lighter at the end than my gravel bike. Let's find out. I love the carbon finish. It's like matte carbon, super cool, and it's super high quality, made in Portugal. It has internal cable routing, and one of my favorite features is that it has quite a big triangle, so I can still mount a bottle cage and maybe a small frame back, giving me extra capacity for Atlas mountain race. So let's weight the rest of the components. Another reason why I chose a mountain bike for Atlas is because of the suspension. I got the RockShox Ultimate Fork that is 100 millimeters travel, much more than the suspension stem on my gravel bike or what you can fit on a gravel bike. So let's weight it. 1 kilo 365 grams. I'm using the Newman Evolution SL 50mm stem that weighs 96 grams. The SRAM Eagle cassette for transmission 380 grams. The Golfer brake disc 180 millimeters, which weighs 124 grams. Then the SRAM 4 ETAP AXS levers, which weighs 377 grams. And finally, the Continental Race King tires 2.2 inch, which weighs 625 grams. And of course, super lightweight 6-spoke wheels from Bike Composites. The rear wheel weighs 700 grams. Now the front wheel, 625 grams. So the full set will be 1,325 grams. That's really lightweight. I'm using a carbon seat post which weighs 152 grams. Keeping things lightweight, I also went for the Bike Composites drop bar for my mountain bike. I really like it because it's full carbon, really high quality, so able to resist the rough terrain. It's aero and it has this ergonomic grip here. Really good to have an additional position for my hands. Also slightly wider than the one in my gravel bike. This one is 42 millimeters versus 40 millimeters, but gives me a bit more stability in the drops. For this build, I'm using the new Kogel Colossus Cera-coated oversized derailleur cage to give it a touch of color, and Kogel ceramic bearings for the bottom bracket. We're gonna install the Bike Ahead lightweight seat post. So let's do it. It has a anti-slip area here, which is quite nice. Make sure the always ahead is at the front. It has an anti-slip area here, which is quite nice, and enough clamping area. Time to install the wheels. These are the Bike Ahead Composites Biturbo RSX. They are the mountain bike wheels and they are 6 spokes. I really like it because with 6 spokes you don't have the risk of breaking a spoke, and also They hold the air quite well when you use it with a tubeless setup. I had the road model for transcontinental race and was really good. So we're gonna install the cassette and mount the tires.
So, because we're building a mountain bike, we can't use gravel wheels because gravel wheels have a different axe diameter. They're a bit thinner or smaller axe diameter, so you can't mount them into a mountain bike frame. Won't fit with a through axle. And also, because of the size of the frame, these are 6-bolt brake rotors. The center line, the center lock ones that we typically use for the gravel bikes, you can't use. You can use an adapter to mount a 6-bolt on a center lock, but you can't use a center lock to mount on a 6-bolt. So that's why we actually need mountain bike specific wheels, and we got the RSX because they're more sturdy, but also have the appropriate standard. So that's why we needed a couple of new wheel sets for this project.
We're using the Continental Race King mountain bike tires, 2.2 inch. So one advantage about using a mountain bike with mountain bike wheels, you can use tires like this. They are quite fast rolling, even more than some gravel tires. So this is definitely the most popular tire choice in races like Tour de Bike, so I'm sure could do the job for Atlas.
So for SRAM transmission, we need to get the crank right. So the transmission cranks only come in dub wide, so that means they are quite wide. And so
what do we do?
So we have to measure the chain line. That's super important for SRAM transmission because you can't change anything. So here we need a 55mm chain line. So we have that. And for that we needed 8mm of spacers, so there was a bit more spacers than actually came with the bottom bracket, so we had to add a bit more spacers. And then to get any play out on the other side, we had to add another 4mm of spacers and then use the compression nut for another millimeter to take any slack out of the crankset. And now works.
We have the Kogel ceramic bearings there.
Yeah, with the endurance seals. And now we just need to set up the chain, put some pedals on and give it a go.
After installing the pedals and switching the derailleur cage for the Kogel one, it's time to weight the full build. First, my gravel bike weighs 9 kilos, 565 grams, and the moment of truth, time to weight the full build for my drop bar mountain bike, 8 kilos, 630 grams. Let's go and try it out. It was fun. First time on the Amsterdam mountain bike park. Worked well. I have to get used to descending, but otherwise, so far so good. Today is sunny, so definitely very lightweight, helpful on the hills, and yeah, the suspension really makes a difference. And I really like the position. You can get quite low. So you have different hand position, which is helpful for ultras. More practice in Valencia. Full video coming up soon.